Hey everyone, what is going on? So I have another video for you today, and we're in the Open Great League, and I'm using Lantern Double Ghost. Now I did see this team featured on King's channel, so huge shout out to him and Amazing Bad Luck, of course. You all know King IV, right? Or Pogo King. But yeah, I think this is a pretty powerful team, so let's see what we got going on for us. So it's going to be Lantern into Altaria. So the good thing about seeing Altaria in the lead, even though this is not necessarily a great matchup, it's okay, I guess. But the good thing about seeing Altaria in the lead is chances are they don't have like a Noctowl in the back, whereas Sableye and Trevenant wouldn't like that very much. So I'm okay with losing this matchup. I'll still be able to get off the Thunderbolt, even though my opponent's shielded. I did get shield advantage, which is pretty nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that, and then I think try to get to another one. No, my opponent actually gets to an attack. If my opponent went for the farm down, I would have been able to get to another one. But good play to throw the Sky Attack. I could bring in Sableye, maybe go for that huge farm down. Sableye is still really good, same with Trevenant, even though Noctowl is so good, right? So in comes Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Foul Play attacks. I almost have two, so I'm going to go ahead and throw one. And I'm going to be able to get to another one. Just throw this, just get damage. It will get the Stunfisk pretty low. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Trevenant, I think. Oh no, I guess I let them throw. They're going to go ahead and throw a Rock Slide. I'm not going to go ahead and shield. I'm going to put everything on the back of Trevenant. And I do take that, and oh yeah, I forced him to throw again. Okay, that's right. Because if they didn't, I would have gotten to another foul play. So my opponent will throw the Rock Slide, and now I can farm down with Trevenant. And I am keeping track of energy. I know I could farm down before they just about barely make it to another move. Very nice. Altaria's coming in. Altaria will throw the Sky Attack. I obviously have to shield this, but I can farm down the Altaria, which is really nice for me, and I'm going to be able to do that. But my opponent actually switches into Jellicent. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Seed Bomb. I throw in bad timing here, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Seed Bomb right now. My opponent actually calls it, so good call by them, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm going to throw, again, bad timing, but that's fine. I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb. My opponent does have to shield this because otherwise it would KO. But I get off another one, and this is going to KO the Jellicent. And then I could just safely farm down the Altaria. They cannot make it to another attack, but even if they had one, I had a shield. Good game, well played to my opponent. I'm going to be able to take that one. Really well done. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Lantern into Dragonite. So I've battled Dragonite leads a relatively decent amount of times, and whenever there's a Dragonite lead, there's always either double steel or a steel type like Galarian Stunfisk or Registeel plus an Azu. It never fails. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm expecting the Registeel and Stunfisk or the Registeel and Azu. Something like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay in here, throw the bait. My opponent does go ahead and shield, and now I can get to a Thunderbolt. Relatively safe bait. So I do get to the Thunderbolt. This Thunderbolt will be enough to KO, and my opponent will let it go. So we would have either gotten two shields or KO'd it, and that's exactly what happens. I immediately go into my Sableye, and lo and behold, there is an Azu in the back. I battled this team a couple days ago. I'm going to go ahead and shield. It's going to be an Ice Beam bait, so nice bait by my opponent. I'm going to be able to throw my return, and I'm going to go ahead and do just that. So I do throw the return. And this return is going to do a lot. I thought they may have shielded, but they didn't. I'm going to throw my Foul Play in CMP. Unfortunately, this does not KO, and I kind of knew it wouldn't, but I still throw it in CMP, hoping maybe they would shield, but they do not shield. But, I am expecting a Steel type in the back, so I'm going to let this go, and if it is like a Registeel, we're looking pretty good with the Trevenant, right? With the shield, because I do resist the moves, even though Zap Cannon still does a lot to Trevenant. And lo and behold, there we go. It is a Registeel. We would have been fine even if it was a Galarian Stunfisk. Good game, well played to my opponent. So whenever you see a Dragonite lead, a lot of times it is the double Steel team or the Azu plus a Steel type. Okay, so I misplayed this game. I probably should have went immediately into the Sableye, because this is tough for Lantern, right? Because you have to land 3 Surfs, because 2 Surfs will not be enough to KO, and it's not like you could Spark down, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit 2 shields, which is not really a good idea. You probably, as I said, you should have went into the Sableye. I was just concerned with like a possible Noctowl in the back, but I think going into Sableye is probably the way to go. And I do that later in the video. My opponent will get to another Earthquake, and I'm going to go ahead and shield it just so I can get off another Surf. Again, going down 2 shields. So I charge up a lot of energy and then throw the Surf. I do not anticipate the shield. They know I have enough for 2. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Surf in and get the KO, but at what cost, right? In comes Trevenant. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Sableye. It's actually double Ghost. So yeah, going into Sableye, I didn't know it was double Ghost, but going into Sableye would have been really, really nice. So I do throw that attack, and my opponent will be able to get off an attack, but it's not going to be enough to KO me. I'm going to try and get to another foul play. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to that foul play, so I have to bring in the Lantern. I do have an attack ready, but I already can see what's going to happen. Their Trevenant is going to be able to beat my Trevenant, so I'm going to throw this Surf. I'm not anticipating the shield here, but my opponent actually does shield. They do want to get off an attack, but they're not going to be able to because I do get to a Surf. But even then, I know my opponent's Trevenant is going to... I mean, it already has a couple Shadow Claws. It's going to be able to get to an attack first. Get to his Shadow Ball first, I should say. What I should have done was try to catch a Seed Bomb. But that would have been really my only possible win condition. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to win this. So definitely misplay this game. But that's okay. This is the first time using the team. Not really a big deal. We'll go ahead and move into the next game. Good game to my opponent. Very well played to them. Okay, Lantern into Wolverine. Okay, looking pretty good. Yes, they have Earthquake, but I have Thunderbolt. So I am expecting my opponent to switch out, and that's exactly what happens. My opponent does switch out into Meganium. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Trevenant. Pretty good for me, right? But the Frenzy Plants still do a lot of damage, and 2 Frenzy Plants will be enough to KO me. So I do have to keep that in mind. So I'm going to try to throw in CMP, throw the Shadow Ball in CMP, and I think I did. See if my opponent shields. If they shield, I can go ahead and match shield. 1 Shadow Ball will be enough to KO the Meganium, as it does. I actually wasn't sure if it was going to be enough but at the time, but it is enough. In comes Trevenant. I don't know why I bait here because I can't make it to 2 Seed Bombs, but I knew they were going to shield anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But obviously Shadow Ball would have been the way to go. So I could bring in my own Sableye, and I could have the Lantern for that Wolverine, right? So I do bring in my Sableye. And I'm definitely going to go ahead and shield this up. I am expecting a Seed Bomb, but it's still worth the shield. But they go straight Shadow Ball. So Wolverine is coming in. I'm going to bring in my Lantern. I'm going to go straight Thunderbolt before they get to the Earthquake. And I don't know. I think my opponent's win condition is to call the Surf Bait. And my opponent does call the bait. Luckily, I do not bait there. I'm going to let this one go. Let's see if Earthquake... Actually, Earthquake is not even enough to KO me. But that's fine. A Shadow one would have been enough to KO me. But I am able to get off this Thunderbolt, which, I mean, they pretty much have to shield this attack. But they don't. And yeah, I could just... 1 Shadow Claw will be enough. And that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent there. Well done to them. Okay, the next game, which I believe is the last game in the video. This is a relatively shorter video, but it's another Goliath Stunfisk fleet. So I'm going to play it differently. I am going to go ahead and try to go into my Sableye immediately, which I do. I'm met with a Mandibuzz, which is not good for me, right? Obviously, Mandibuzz does a good job of walling Sableye, but I mean... It kind of walls it. It's kind of like Noctowl. Like, Returns still do a lot of damage. So, Return will still do a lot. I don't expect the shield because it won't KO. But it does do a lot of damage. So, I'll take that. And my opponent will go ahead and throw another one. If I live it, I'll be able to get off a foul play. I'm not going to live it, though. So, that will KO. And I would love to get the farm down here. But Mandibuzz is just a little bit too bulky. And the thing is, I know if I have energy, I could threaten that Goliath Stunfisk because Surf is still super effective. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on CMP here. Because I know Lantern wins CMP against Mandibuzz. So this will be enough to KO, and I don't anticipate the shield, but if they bring in Stunfisk, Surf is still super effective, and I have the energy advantage now. So let's see what decides to come in. It is going to be that Stunfisk. I'm almost at 2 Surfs, and 2 Surfs will get that Stunfisk low, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw one, and able to get to another one. I think I switch out after this. I think my opponent lets this one go. They do let it go, and now I switch out. And I'm going for that farm down. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw an attack, but I could take a Rock Slide or an Earthquake, whatever they throw. It's going to be a Rock Slide, makes sense. Out comes Cofagrigus. So I want to be able to get off 2 Seed Bombs to get both shields. So I'm going to go ahead and throw 1 Seed Bomb. And I also want to get that Cofagrigus low enough to where Thunderbolt will KO. And the Shadow Claw should be able to do that. My opponent is farming me down. I do get off another Seed Bomb, hoping to pick up that shield. I do anticipate the shield, and my opponent will shield. So now, Thunderbolt after this box, I'm thinking will be enough. Cofagrigus is pretty bulky, but I'm going to be able to shield. I mean, I know these are going to be Dark Pulse attacks, but I have to shield up both attacks. And And my opponent did throw a rock slide right into my Trevenant. I lost kind of energy, I'll be honest about that, but I knew a rock slide wouldn't KO. I'm hoping I could make it to a surf before they make it to an earthquake. Again, I lost kind of energy with the Stunfisk. I remember that. I just don't know if they'll be able to throw an attack first. They do throw an attack first, but is it going to be the rock slide? I think I live the rock slide. It is the rock slide. They cannot make it to an earthquake. Barely live it. Get off the surf and take this game. I should have been paying better attention to the energy that Stunfisk had, but regardless, I'm able to take that game. Good game, well played to my opponent. But yeah, so if you run into a Goliath Stunfisk lead, if you have the water gun, if you're going with water gun lantern, I mean, you can stay in, but if you're going with Spark, I think it probably is the best play to go to switch out into Sableye. And if they happen to have Noctowl or Mandibuzz, as we saw, maybe you could still win, but it's pretty tough there. But either way, that's going to be a great game. Thank you so much for watching. Great videos, great battles to all my opponents, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.